Coming up on Mountain News this morning, we bring you the latest on the spread of COVID-19 here in Kentucky.
And as the virus continues to disrupt our daily routines, some companies are finding ways to help out.
And in Seattle, a clinical trial to develop a vaccine for COVID-19 will begin today, but it will not be available for a while. We'll tell you why.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. It is a minute after 6. I'm Will Puckett.
And I'm Lacey Roberts.
Thank you for tuning in to Mountain News This Morning on this Monday, March the 16th. And Lacey, we had some cooler temperatures this weekend and some rain. And today we're going to warm up.
Yeah. But we're still going to have that rain and maybe less of those winds we saw yesterday, because now it's like either you got to take the rain because it's going to be here, but now I just want to know if it's going to be heavy rain, light rain, what kind of rain gear do I need, Brandon? That's what I want to know.
And Brandon, we're going to be switching over to springtime here soon, but it's just this rain that we can't shake at all.
And we were well above the average what we should see for the year already, and only 3 months in, 3.5 months in, and the rain trend continues. Let's take a look and see what's going on this morning. Drier to start the day, maybe a little bit of drizzle out there in some spots and some moisture in the air condensed as fog, so be careful of that as you travel this morning. Remember, anything less than 5 miles is pretty dense fog. Temperatures across the region 30s and 40s, not a whole lot of change there this morning in the last little bit. We see temperatures up a couple degrees from this time yesterday, a couple spots right where they were this time yesterday. Middlesboro 3 degrees colder than 24 hours ago. 56 today, 20% chance of rain late. It'll become more scattered and widespread as we head deeper into the nighttime hours, but for the most parts of the day, some peaks of sunshine under mainly cloudy skies. We'll talk about the extended forecast in just a little bit. Will?
All righty, Brandon, thank you. Well, Kentucky State Police are investigating a murder in Lee County. Investigators say they were called to Long Branch Road early Sunday morning. Troopers found one man dead at the scene and say he was stabbed after a fight with another man. Police say Jason Michael Smith is wanted for murder. He is considered dangerous. Anyone with information is asked to call Kentucky State Police Post 7 at 859-623-2404.
And Kentucky's number of confirmed cases of the coronavirus is now up to 21 across 7 different counties.
While the first patient is out of the hospital and recovered, the governor said last night that one patient is not expected to make it. Shelby Smithson has more from the governor's news conference.
With every new case comes new concerns and new recommendations from leaders, from shutting down schools to suspending in-person church services and now encouraging people to avoid bars, restaurants, and other crowded places.
If we are going to protect our loved ones that are out there, we have to be willing to change our practices, and everybody has to be a good teammate.
The governor even referencing Ohio, where an order was issued shutting down bars and restaurants.
If we cannot show responsible practices in how we social distance, then I will be forced to do the same.
In an update on the 16 Kentuckians who were on the Grand Princess cruise ship, 14 of them will be back home Sunday night. The governor said the final 2 are expected to make it back by Monday. Also new at the press conference, Governor Beshear announced he was tested for the virus as well. A patient in Louisville with a confirmed case was at an event that the governor went to, but Saturday, Beshear tested negative. Now the focus is on making sure everyone is doing their part and being a team player.
We have to stay calm. We have to understand that we're all going to have to change our lifestyles in different fundamental ways, and we got to be a good part of Team Kentucky.
At the state capitol, Shelby Smithson, WKYT.
The governor's next update will be this morning at 9 o'clock. We will carry it live right here on WYMT. If you have concerns about the coronavirus or feel sick, you can call the state hotline at 1-800-722-5725. You can also visit the official website. We have a link to that on WYMT.com.
Officials for the Center on Disease Control made a statement yesterday saying events and gatherings of 50 people or more should be postponed or canceled for the next 8 weeks. They say the events can increase the spread of the coronavirus as travelers can introduce the virus to new communities. The CDC recommends organizers to modify events to be virtual.
A clinical trial to develop a vaccine for COVID-19 will begin today. The trial is taking place in Seattle. Testing will begin with 45 young and healthy volunteers. They will receive several different doses of shots. Government officials say the first participant will receive the first injection today. Health officials also say it will take 1 year to 18 months to fully test a potential vaccine.
And while people are busy protecting themselves from COVID-19, Kentucky Power is doing something to help. They are suspending all disconnects, and this means if you are unable to pay your bill, they will not shut off your power. Now, this is only temporary until the coronavirus scare dies down.
We're from the community and we're part of the community, and that gives us a chance to take their mind off of a certain piece or an aspect of the daily operation.
However, this does not allow complete forgiveness of your bill. If you are going to miss a payment, you are still asked to call Kentucky Power Solutions Center to let them know. That number is 1-800-572-1113.
And as schools are shutting down because of the coronavirus pandemic, Charter Communications has announced it will offer free Spectrum broadband and Wi-Fi for students in elementary, high school, and college across the state of Kentucky.
And the offer is only for people who do not already have a Spectrum broadband prescription. Comcast also announced they would extend free broadband to low-income families for a 60-day period starting this week.
Well, one man from Kentucky is stuck on a cruise ship after a passenger died. Originally, the person was tested for COVID-19, but thankfully those tests came back negative.
Kevin Myers is originally from Harlan and moved to Lexington and is also a former WYMT reporter. Connor James talked with him.
Just wanted to provide you with an update. As a lot of you know, we've been on a Caribbean cruise.
Sunday afternoon, Kevin Myers posted this video to Facebook.
Got back into Fort Lauderdale this morning.
Stuck on a cruise ship in Florida after the state's governor executed an order keeping people from leaving the ship.
The reason we're in the situation we're in now is because one person on the ship did actually pass away toward the end of the cruise.
Last Sunday, Kevin and his family boarded a cruise ship before coronavirus preparations ramped up.
And this was right before all the coronavirus stuff hit, so we actually made it in right under the line, so to speak, because this is the last cruise for 30 days for all the cruise ships coming out of Fort Lauderdale.
Bringing us to this Sunday, with a death on the ship, officials feared it could possibly be a case of COVID-19.
Yeah, the cruise line's been real good about updating the passengers on current situations.
And with tests out, Myers had been stuck on the ship in Fort Lauderdale. He says the trip itself was beautiful. He also is not too worried after seeing the measures taken on the ship.
The ship itself has had some very stringent sanitary type protocols in terms of hand sanitizer and that kind of thing. And everybody's just worked together to get through it.
Around 4 p.m. Sunday evening, Myers said all the tests did come back negative. Connor James, WYMT Mountain News.
And as of last night, Myers was still on the ship, just waiting for final clearance to leave.
United Airlines says it may have to lay off employees. It plans to cut capacity in half in April. United says it's opening talks with its union about cost-cutting measures. They could include furloughs, days, or pay cuts, and maybe outright job losses. Top executives are taking a 50% pay cut. The airline says it carried 1 million fewer passengers than normal in the first 2 weeks of March, and it thinks it will lose $1.5 billion this month alone. United also predicts until coronavirus is under control, those numbers will get worse.
Passengers at 3 major U.S. airports say they're worried that they were exposed to the coronavirus after massive lines formed during CDC screenings for the COVID-19. These are pictures of the long lines at Chicago O'Hare's International Airport. The screenings took place there as well as at the Dallas, Fort Worth, and JFK International airports. The medical screenings were implemented to check on U.S. citizens arriving from Europe. This comes after President Trump announced on Wednesday that there would be a travel ban for travelers coming from 26 countries in Europe. Many affected by the sudden ban are upset at the way the situation has been handled.
Once you get through customs, then you go all the way back to the start, and you go through the line again to go through another customs agent checking your medical record. Then you go to another line for CDC. It's the worst system I could think of, considering what this contagion is.
Chad Wolf, the acting Homeland Security Secretary, acknowledged the long lines on Twitter and said the government is working to add additional screening capacity and working to expedite the process.
The Federal Reserve is cutting interest rates to near zero. Officials made the announcement yesterday. The last time the prime rate was this low was during the global recession about a decade ago. The Fed also says it will purchase $700 billion of Treasury bonds and mortgage-backed securities. And it's working with international banks to lower rates on currency swaps. The move comes as coronavirus is causing schools and businesses to close, the travel industry to suffer, and markets to struggle. The Federal Reserve could take rates into negative territory, but Chairman Jerome Powell has resisted that idea.
Fog is a big story this morning for those who are traveling across the region, so give yourself plenty of time and take it easy out there. Dense fog across basically anywhere that has less than 5 miles of visibility, which is Jackson, Hazard, London, Prestonsburg, Logan, Pikeville, Williamsburg, and Middlesboro this morning. So just take it easy out there. We start with one of our foggy spots on the cameras there, US 119, US 23 at Jenkins. So again, keep that in mind as you travel. Temperatures in the 30s and 40s. 41 Ashland, Jonesville, Jacksboro, 40 Middlesboro. Everybody else around 36 to around 38 or 39. Across the state, we're seeing 40s in a lot of locations with the exception of Cincinnati, Lexington, and Charleston, along with Hazard, all in the 30s this morning. Your EmojiCast today, some peaks of sunshine possible, especially early, but rain chances return late. Stick around through early tomorrow and then more chances as we head into your Wednesday. Lacey?
Thank you, Brandon, and thank you for joining us on Mountain News this morning. More news is on the way.
Coming up, severe weather season has arrived in the mountains. We'll help you be better prepared for it by busting common myths around tornado safety.